Hi there, this is Oluseyi, and I'm the founder and creator of the Self Love Superstar group and the Superstar Self Love Project. I thought that I would do an annual reading with the oracle cards that I've been using to do the weekly readings, and they are the Nature's Whispers oracle cards, written by Angela Hartfield and illustrated by Josephine Wall. Josephine Wall is an amazingly beautiful and talented artist. She's been going for about 20 years and she makes the most beautiful images with fairies and faces and rainbows and butterflies and hearts and light, and it's just the perfect kind of collaboration between herself and Angela Hartfield to create these cards. So I already drew the cards on New Year's Day, but because I've been really busy, I haven't had time to actually do the recording of this video, and I also haven't even looked at them. I've done my own personal reading, but I haven't looked at the group reading. I did share the focus of the year card, which was expansion, just because I really felt like that was something, that could be shared, and it really resonates with me in that we're kind of coming to a phase or many people are coming to their phases in their journey where they feel ready to expand. They feel ready, they've kind of done all this past emotional clearing, and they have got an idea of what their life purpose is, and it's kind of like 2016 felt really frustrating for a lot of people, myself included. And it just feels like now is really the time to move forward and to start taking real, like, kind of harnessing the magic and reaping the seed, reaping the fruits of the seeds that we were sowing last year and over the years that we've been doing this journey. So that's kind of really what expansion. So that's kind of the focus of the year, is to be open and willing to expand, and be open and willing for whatever the universe is offering us. So I've got the cards here, and I drew 12 cards, and so I just did them like January, February, like that. And so the first one is Infinite Blessings, and that is a really beautiful card. It feels like that's absolutely in line with what I was sharing, that we can, and what it really feels like is that even though it might not seem like the blessings and what kind of like your dreams and things like that are not happening immediately, like they might happen straight away, but that they are on the way, and to really just keep having the faith and just keep trusting that all your dreams are coming true, and that God and the angels and the fairies, or the spirits, or whatever you believe in, they are all working behind the scenes to support you and to support the collective consciousness and the collective evolution, and that there are so many blessings on their way, and it's up to you to kind of open your arms and welcome them in and really allow them into your life. So for January, it's about being kind of connecting with your blessings and being open to them. So for February, we've got Maintain Your Childlike Spirit. And that's one of my favorite things. Those of you who have been in this group for a while know that I am, that I do a lot of inner child work, and that I am a huge advocate for inner child work and connecting with being childlike. And that's not about being immature, and it's not about making decisions from an immature place. It's about having the authenticity and integrity with the part of yourself, with that innocent part of yourself that has always believed in your dreams, that is just free and is a free spirit and loves dancing and playing and loves being creative. So it's about really harnessing and connecting in with that part of yourself that is childlike, not childish, but childlike. And really just finding ways of having more fun. And often, I know for myself personally, I feel like maybe I need more money, or I need friends, or I need this, I need a partner, I need, all these things need to be in place before I can start living the life that I want to be living, or having more fun, or doing these things that I want to do. And so it's just remembering, like children play with a box and they can sit in a box for hours, and that is their entertainment. Like, it's so many parents that I see on Facebook are posting things about, oh, I bought these really amazing presents and my baby just played with the box. So it's kind of that. It's like, and it feeds into the infinite blessings that sometimes our blessings don't come in the packages that we want them to. And it's really being open to remembering that, that children just love. I'm going to post proper pictures of them because the lighting's not amazing. Children love making up stories, and their imagination is what helps them to kind of get through life, and it's the manifesting, and it's so maintaining the childlike spirit is hard, tapping into your imagination and trusting in the flow of the universe. Like, children just, like, they ask their parents, and they ask and they ask and they ask, and again, yeah, that's another thing, is kind of like that, the energy of never stop asking for what you want. Never stop asking God or your higher self, or whoever you believe in, whatever source of love you believe in, for the things that you want. Like, children, when they want something, they just will not stop. They're like a dog with a bone. Like, they do not stop asking, and they ask and they ask and they ask. So that kind of feels like a really big message for all of us, is, even when things don't look like there's any way for them to work out, keep asking and keep telling the universe, yes, I'm ready for this. Give me this, please. Give me this. This is what I want. And just being laser focused on your goals and on your dreams, not on how they're going to come to you. Because children don't care how their parents are going to come get them the things. They don't understand money. It's just all conceptual to them. All they know is that they want these things, and that's it. So, it's about maintaining your childlike spirit, having fun, and really using your imagination, and really leaning into that belief that God, as our mother, father, is going to be able to give us everything that we want in our lives, and that all of our dreams are coming true. So that really, and so for March, we've got Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is it was one of my recurring cards for 2016, and it's a really beautiful symbol of a little fairy with a magic wand, and she's walking on a tightrope, and it's that energy of just stepping out into, just doing something. And I know a few people have got really wonderful projects coming up this year, and so it's just, even if it doesn't look like it's working out the way you want it to, in March is absolutely that time when your guides, your angels, fairies of the universe are saying, take that leap, and it's gonna work out. Like, just go for it, just do it, stop holding back, keep moving forward, keep leaning into the discomfort of not knowing how something's going to turn out, because it's going to be amazing. So April is be in service. One of the Doreen Virtue is one of my favorite angels. She's kind of like the foremost angel lady, and she kind of was one of the first people to make oracle cards that went that really grew and expanded of these kind of like these size, instead of using tarot, which don't resonate with me personally either. She wanted to create something that was more gentle and more accessible for people, so she started developing kind of like similar to tarot size cards, but they're just oracle, and they're more loving, they have more positive messages that are more easily defined into positivity. So one of her cards that always comes up for me when I have got really exciting project coming is to remember to be of service, and to remember that, yes, kind of financial remuneration is important, but it's also that everything that I am creating, all of my projects are because I want to be of service to the world, to be part of the evolution of the planet. And I know that, that pretty much everyone that I know as well, in whatever way, whether it's, a lot of people, are not spiritual in like actively, consciously, proactively doing spiritual practices, but we, in some way, on some level, we all want to offer something that is going to benefit the world. And if you're in this group, then you definitely are one of those people. And so to be of service is to, in a small way or in a big way. And, and it's kind of like the universe doesn't know the difference in size. So it's not even big or small. It's in whatever way. And it's also not to the detriment of yourself. And there's also about being of service to yourself, like asking yourself, like another of my favorite teachers is called Matt Kahn. And he always says, like, asking ourselves, how may I serve you, is one of the most important questions that we can ask ourselves and ask our bodies. So to always, yes, we are to be of service to other people, but we are to be of service to ourselves first. So that's April. And May, which is my birth month, is pause. And this is it kind of feels like when we pause, we give space to the universe to do some radical behind the scenes work. And I'm kind of feeling a little thing of emotion there. It kind of feels like there's something really important in May, and after, in the 6 months onwards, kind of like that's moving into the summer months. And summer is a period of time when generally energetically it's time to slow down and to be more in receiving and allowing our projects that we've been working really hard on during spring to really kind of start to gather the heat of the sun, and to allow for our ideas and our projects and our dreams to really be nurtured and nourished by the energy of the light of the sun. And so as we pause, we're really, again, leaning into the faith and into the trust, and just trusting that whatever's happening is perfect, and that we don't need to force anything to happen. And to also take a breath, like before you respond to something somebody says or does, like really stop and and just pause, and really also, if somebody criticizes you, that you can really lean into that and ask yourself, like, is it true? And often the times it's never about you. Firstly, what other people say and do is always about them and how they've been treated. They're just showing us how they've been treated, so it's really important to just take a beat, like stop for a moment and just question, like, is this true? No. And I'm not going to value what somebody else's opinion is of me. And that's, negative criticism. So yeah, that feels like that's for somebody. And it's important also, like, I am one of those people that I have like spurts of energy, so I will be able to go for like a week hard at it, or a month or a couple of months really hard at it, and then I need to stop for a while. So, and that really, yeah, that really feels like that's a message definitely for me. And I'm really hoping to manifest going away somewhere abroad for my birthday, and just really taking some time out for myself to just so just take some time out in May, even if it's just an hour, even if it's like 5 minutes a day, to just give yourself that time to just be still and to pause. So for June is clear out the old. And this card actually always, sorry, I just need to, my nose is a little bit running. This card always reminds me of Kali. And Kali is a goddess of chaos and destruction. And she is one that is kind of like, she's the goddess of endings and beginnings, of, she's kind of like that really wild energy that allows us to be angry and allows us to be, kind of like powerful and really create things to happen. And a lot of the time when change happens, it feels like our worlds are falling apart, and it feels like things are being removed. So Kali is very much the goddess of like removing what is no longer serving us, and it might be painful and it might kind of hurt at the time, but kind of like God, that is an aspect of God that sees the bigger picture, that sees what needs to be cleared out of our lives. So clearing out the old. So this is June, I think. Yeah, and isn't June summer solstice? And on the actual image, there is the masculine and the feminine energy, and there is a sundial, there is a key, a door, there are dandelions, and dandelions are the symbol for change and transformation. And there is also Stonehenge and a clock. And so that's really interesting that came up for June. And I'm going to post closer pictures of it, but you'll just see there is Stonehenge with a clock. And also the owl is like the wise bird, so it's kind of like using our wisdom and really allowing. And it's interesting that the masculine energy, the masculine figure, is blindfolded. That feels significant. And that the blindfold actually holds a key. So there's the key dangling off the blindfold, and then there's the blindfold, then the opening with steps leading up to the keyhole is actually in the chest around the neck. So that really feels like trust, like trusting what needs to be removed will be revealed, and trusting that you will know how to do it, and that you will be given the tools and the people to support you as you navigate that time in your life, and using your intuition. That's what really came to me. And then of course July, the intuition card came. So this is a really beautiful card, and it just, you can't get more beautiful than a card that's just radiating with light and high vibration colors and beauty, and intuition is that inner guidance, and we all have it, and we can all really tap into it. And just again, it's about trusting that. And I've made mistakes, and I've listened to kind of like thoughts that I thought were my guidance, and my life has gone completely wrong and haphazard, and it's a muscle. Like, learning to trust the intuition is a muscle that anybody can practice using. So that's for July, is intuition. And it feels like also with the evolution of the planet, our intuition is going to be increasing, because we are evolving into more open-minded and expanded-hearted beings on a collective level. And so it will be less easy for people to ignore their intuition and for people to just keep plodding along asleep and not following their dreams. That's going to become less and less easy for people to do. So more people are going to be waking up and just feeling like, do you know what, I need my life to change. My life needs to change. So the next one is July, August. So August is all about empowerment. And I'm kind of like not a really huge fan of the word empower, because it in some way says that somebody is disempowered. However, it does resonate with some people, and this is a really powerful image. So there's like storms, and there's avalanches, and there's waterfalls, and there's all the seasons, and butterflies, and nature, and and it's kind of, and the sun coming out from behind. So there's a, what do you call it? Like an eclipse of the sun coming out from behind the moon, and so it's a really beautiful message of, it feels to me, of just knowing your power and just really trusting in that you are powerful and that you don't need somebody outside of yourself to let you know this truth, like that you just are this amazing, powerful force of nature, and you don't need to hide that anymore. And it's time for you to really step up and step into your true divine nature, into your divinity, and into your how powerful you are, and just really trust that. Like, trust that you've got what it takes to get through everything, because as with the previous cards, change can feel challenging at the time when we're going through it, and we might not know for a fact when it's going to finish and when we're going to come out the other end. And so to feel empowered and to choose to be powerful no matter what's going on in our lives is absolute true empowerment, and that's from within. And like, this self-love journey is all about love. Everything starts from within, and not craving the validation or the empowerment from anybody else or anything. But also being willing to share your awesomeness with the world. So September is be your best self always. And in Bali, I started getting this card really regularly. So I went to Bali in April 2016 for a couple of months, and I would get this card in the morning. I would draw myself a card every morning, and when I got on the days that I got this card, something awesome would happen. And there were a couple of times when I was ill or I was just exhausted and I couldn't be bothered to do my makeup, and I couldn't be bothered, and then I had photo opportunities, or there was just a reason why it would have been awesome if I had just made a little bit of more effort with my physical appearance. And I know that I'm beautiful, and I want to just give a shout out to my niece who did my makeup. She's 10, and she's got these makeup palettes of foundation and mascara, of eyeliner, eyeshadow and everything. And she just did such an I said to her last night that I stayed over at her house, and I said she could do my makeup today because I wanted to do this video. And she just did such an amazing job, and she's just a precious little angel, fairy, princess girl. And also be yourself, your best self always. Obviously, is not just about the physical appearance, but I just feel like a lot of the time when we're on this spiritual path, some people neglect the external thinking, for whatever their personal reason is. I'm not going to try and figure it out, but this body is a vessel, and we are here to live the fullest, most highest expression of God working and living through us, because we are in each person we are God. And so the expression of beauty, of physical beauty, is spiritual. It's the highest form of spirituality. So, and also being the best self always is about being good to ourselves and good to other people. And it's about really just showing up, like showing up. So in September, you're going to be called on to show up, and you're going to be called on to really be awesome and not hide and not keep perpetuating those childhood things where you were told that you were too loud or you were too big or your energy or personality was too big. Like, fuck that. You know, you are amazing and you are here to be seen, and what you have to say is important. So, October comes the last 3 months, is shift your energy. And I think in the book, this is about checking in, like how you're eating, so you're kind of like cutting back on sugar and dairy and things like that. And it can also, for me, it's about the thoughts that we're allowing to take residence in our repetitive patterns of thinking. And so shifting, and also it can be about moving the body and also changing up things around the house. So one feng shui practice is to actually move 100 objects in the house, and that completely changes the energy. And so there are many different ways that we can shift our energy. We can do a cleansing of the energy in the house. You know, October is the end of autumn. And so it's a time when we are again coming into slowing down for winter. And, you know, if we're working seasonally, and we are kind of slowing down and changing again. So we are always in a state of flux and of change, and that is normal. But for some, you know, but I know for me personally, like, because my childhood was so unstable, it felt unstable, I didn't know how to handle change. I was never taught how to manage change and manage my emotions around change. And so, and also because I have kind of like some low level Asperger's tendencies, and so change feels really challenging for me. So, you know, but everything is about change. So when we shift our energy, shifting our thinking about something, then that really helps to navigate and to process whatever we're going through. So shift the energy, and, you know, that could be anything. That could be making changes around the house, making changes in your thoughts, making changes with people you hang around with, or the food things that you're putting in your body, like just finding ways, you know, how much exercise you're doing, to finding ways of shifting the energy. And the November card is ideal course of action. And this is really about, again, leaning into the intuition and trusting that you will know what the right thing to do is. And it's not about, you know, right and wrong are very subjective, and they're pretty much, you know, quite obtuse and archaic ways of looking at things, because what's right for one person is very different. And that's why I think it's kind of like, it's the ideal course of action, and you'll really know it. Like, you'll be led, you will receive like clear guidance. And a lot of the time, when you're really passionate about something, or when we really want to move forward with a project, but it just feels like you're procrastinating, actually that's just the universe. It's just saying, do you know what, it's just take a moment, take a breath, and your obvious next step will be revealed. But you just, again, have to lean into the faith and have to really trust that the next steps for you to take are gonna happen. So ideal course of action in November. Trust that you will know it. And what an amazing way to finish the year. December 2017, hope and happiness. I mean, like that is beautiful. It is swans, and swans are the symbol of a monogamous, life-lasting relationship. Like swans mate for life, and they raise their children together. And that's something that I'm really manifesting is a beautiful, conscious relationship that I can really grow in and develop myself and be held and hold space for somebody else. So for me, like that really, and there's such joy in the picture, and it's a really wonderful. And there's in the image, when you look closely, the pathway is actually made up of people dancing and just really kind of expressive and joyful, and it's a really beautiful way to end the year. So I've got a feeling that this is going to be an amazing year. Obviously it's not going to be challenge free, because and it's also like our choice in how fast and how deep we want our evolution there. And thank you so much for watching. Remember always that the main focus for this year is extra loving as you go through this year, like positive change, as well as the less easy changes can be equally tricky to navigate, especially if you're not used to being successful, especially if you're not used to winning, especially if you haven't had many of your dreams coming true. Like, positive changes can feel scary, and excitement in my body often feels like fear. So to just be aware of that and pray that you will be open to receiving more, and that you will receive more in ways that you've never experienced it before, and that you will find ways to be who you have always wanted to be as never before, and you will honor and love yourself as never before, and that you will allow yourself to thrive and to move into the patterns and the habits of behavior that serve you in ways that mean that you will succeed as never before. So I thank you, I bless you, and I love you. Namaste. Have an amazing year.